Hey everybody, it's Salt from Pokemon Go Radio, the place for everything Pokemon Go, and we put out new episodes every single Monday wherever you can find podcasts and here on this channel. You can definitely like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. It helps out the channel. But we also, beyond just our regular podcast episodes, love to do featured content. And this week it is all about PvP and it is all about the Silph Brawler Cup, right? Today we're going to cover what is the Silph Brawler Cup. How does it break down the different rules? How did I pick my team and what resources did I use? And then we're going to end the video with a little mano-y-mano, me versus WildcatDad from Beginner to Winner podcast, where he's probably going to beat the living snot out of me. But either way, it should be a good time. We're going to get a lot of practice in, and we're going to help me get ready for the Pokemon Go Radio League Brawler Cup later this month. Stick around. Should be a really good time. So what is the Brawler Cup? Well, simply put, the Brawler Cup is one of the Silph Arena tournaments that's put on monthly by the Silph Road. You can look at the website. If you go to just the Silph Road, Google it, it'll take you over there. And they like to do these tournaments month by month. And this month's tournament for November 2021 is the Brawler Cup. You can definitely check out the website for a full list of details and rules and all that kind of stuff. But I'm really excited because on Pokemon Go Radio and our Discord, we host the Pokemon Go Radio League. And I don't like making a fool out of myself. So before the tournament starts on the 17th, I want to learn about the cup. I want to learn about the meta. I want to get my picks in, and I want to get some practice, which is exactly what we're going to do today. So how the Brawler Cups break down is opposed to some previous Silph metas where you're going to have like certain type matchups. Like let's say you can use Bug, Fairy, Dark, Poison, and Ice, right? Or something like that. The Silph Cup this month for Brawler Cup is actually a slot-based meta. So there are certain Pokemon you can fit to fill each slot. And this month, the Brawler Cup is all based on weight class. That's right. The canonical Pokedex weight of the Pokemon determines the different slots. So you're going to have 6 slots, starting with Bantamweight, then you go to Featherweight, Welterweight, Middleweight, Cruiserweight, and then finally Heavyweight. I mean, I'm going to be honest. 2 of those sound kind of made up to me, but I digress. I don't know anything about boxing. It's not just a free-for-all, though. It's not like you can just go in and pick any Pokemon from, X weight to Y weight. It doesn't really work like that. There's still a list of Pokemon that you have to be able to choose from in each of those weight classes, and we're going to break them down. So starting with Bantamweight. Bantamweight is the lightest Pokemon class, and you'll see here there are some favorites. There are some Pokemon that you might be familiar with if you've used them in PvP. You've got some standouts like Haunter, Quillfish, all of the cast forms are in here. Jirachi I've seen. The Wormadins are a potential standout, and then some other odds, assortments, and ends. But I tell you right now, if you're looking at this list, you may not be expecting the one that I am going to pick for my Bantamweight Pokemon. The next weight class up, we have Featherweight. And you can see there's a lot more Pokemon to choose from in the Featherweight class. Now, I know what you're thinking, Salt, please stop. There's no reason to pick. You're obviously going to pick Galarian Weezing for your Pokemon in Featherweight. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do that, but it would be the meme pick. It would be the spicy optimal pick. But there are a couple cool Pokemon in here. You've got Victreebel is obviously making an appearance. Wigglytuff and Ninetales. Dragonair is here. Who else is in here? You've got Drifblim is really popular in here. You've got some of the other starters as well. Alolan Raichu. There's a lot to pick from in here. Even Stunfisk is making an appearance. And then Relicanth is I would use a Relicanth if I had one. That would be lovely. But there's obviously a lot more to choose from in Featherweight. So if you're looking at this list and you're like, oh, dang, how do I pick? You're going to notice that it's not as easy as picking just the best one from the best Pokemon you can find from Bantamweight and Featherweight. You're going to have to use the different weight classes to try to pick and find your coverage depending on what you pick. Third, we have Welterweight. And I got to tell you, for what it's worth on my money, this is the most competitive slot. There are so many picks in this slot to choose from. Starting with Beedrill, you've got Clefable in there. There's so many to pick. You've got Dustox, there's Dusclops, there's so many Pokemon in here. Toxicroak, Alolan Mediwak, praise be to the Mediwak, Obstagoon, Diggersby. There are so many Pokemon in this very competitive slot, but you only get to choose one of them. And that's the really hard thing about these slot-based metas. So if you want to go with Mediwak, praise be to the Mediwak, you are not bringing Noctowl. It's not happening. So it can be pretty difficult when you want to choose, especially with a slot that is this competitive. Then you have Middleweight coming in at number 4. Honestly, this is kind of like on par with Tier 2 with me. There are some picks in here, but I don't think it's as competitive as the Welterweight division in slot 3. There's some Pokemon I'm seeing in here. You've got Golbat is a popular pick. You've got Heracross, which is another one. There's a lot of Pokemon in here. Alolan Muck, but I'm telling you right now, none of the Pokemon that I just mentioned are Pokemon that I am going to be using, even though I think I have every single one of those built for Great League competition. I am using the middleweight class to build a Pokemon that I'm really excited about and just kind of need an excuse to use, and I'm really excited to share that with you in a little bit. But I'm pretty excited about my pick for slot number 4. And next we've got slot 5, Cruiserweight, which I have never heard of before. I don't know if you've ever heard of a Cruiserweight, but it sounds made up to me. But I'm going to be honest, in this slot it was kind of difficult for me because there were so many things that I had to go back and forth and try and tweak my team for coverage here. But just look at some of these awesome Pokemon that you get to pick from. You've got Meganium and Venusaur. You've got Sizer. You've got Dugong. You've got just so many options in here. Bronzong, Munchlax, Shelgon, Regice. I would love to be running a Tropius. Unfortunately, I don't have one, but there's a lot to be picking from in here, and I think that Tier 5 or slot 5 is deceptively difficult because there's a lot of different ways you could go with Cruiserweight. And then finally, we've got the heavyweights. We got the big boys. We got in here the smallest of the list, but the biggest in our hearts, the heavyweight team. In here, you've got some classic Pokemon that you would think of when you think of big Pokemon. You've got Wailord, Lapras, Snorlax, Steelix, but you've also got Dragonite, Golurk, Crustle, my boy Scolipede, which I will not be using, and Melmetal. But then you also have Mantine in here, which is just, how is Mantine in the heavyweight division? That is a big flappy water boy, I guess. But I like Tier 6. I think it's interesting. I think these are definitely the tanky Pokemon, the sort of, the Rope-a-Dope Pokemon that are supposed to be able to take some hits. And they definitely have some pretty sturdy Pokemon in this tier. Okay, so that's the list of available Pokemon. So how did I get there? What did I look through? And what did my team end up being? Well, I got my team together, and I decided to go with Vigoroth, Cofagrigus, Wigglytuff, Greedent, Mantine, and Machamp. Those are going to be my 6 Pokemon that I'm going to start out with in this practice to see how it goes. How did I pick that team? How do I know what their weaknesses and their strengths are? I'll show you guys that right now. Okay, so we have here the resource PvP Poke. I'll link it in the description, and you'll be able to see the different resources. I'm sure lots of you have used it before, but I like to go and start off with just the Silph Brawler Cup and look at the rankings to get an idea of Pokemon that I think might be useful. And I try to see, what Pokemon have I already got made on here, what might be good, right? And I do want to point out that just because a Pokemon is ranked number 1 on PvP Poke doesn't mean that it's going to absolutely rule the meta, right? It's a good indication, but I've been in plenty of metas where the number 1 Pokemon ended up, being okay, and then the number 15 Pokemon just blows everybody's socks away. So it just kind of depends, but this is a good starting point. But don't get too caught up on the individual letters. It's about what your team needs and what Pokemon you have available. But I like to peruse this list and get an idea of Pokemon that might be powerful in this meta so I can start building the team together. Once I get there, I like to go over to the team builder, and then I just start adding. So I've added Vigoroth, I've added, other Pokemon I can go through, and I can add that. And then I start looking through the team and start looking at the slot matchups, what works, what weaknesses, and what coverage I do have. Right, so you get your team together, my Vigoroth, my Cofagrigus, my Greedent, my Mantine, my Wigglytuff, and my Machamp with all of their moves. And then you go down here and you click this little Rate Team button, and you get presented a report card, if you will. So you've got coverage. That just tells you, hey, the amount of different types and the different meta threats, how much coverage do you have, right? Bulk is the overall ability for your team to absorb damage. Generally speaking, a higher bulk is better because you're not going to feel as much shield pressure, but it doesn't always work out like that. Safety, the number of safe switches you have depending on the matchup, and then consistency. How consistent is your team going to be able to perform? Do you have a really high variance in the team you've selected? And then you get your meta scorecard. So you got your Pokemon, your 6 at the top, and then you've got a rating against some of the top meta Pokemon, and then you can see your wins and your losses, right, all the way through. And it gives you an idea of what Pokemon might be a problem for you and what Pokemon you might stack up well against, right? So I can tell you right here, Greedent is specifically purely in this team because it takes out Kofagrigus. Like, that is what Greedent does in this team and why it ended up being my number 1 slot. So there are some Pokemon that are potentially troubling for me, like Tropius here. You can see the only thing I really have to compete against Tropius is going to be my Mantine, and I'd have to actually run that simulation. I think I need a shield to actually win that. But overall, I think this team provides some good coverage. I think that it's got a decent consistency to it, and I'm willing to try it out. Okay, so now that we've walked through what the Silph Brawler Cup is, what the different slot limitations are, some of the strongest Pokemon in the meta, and how I picked my team, we're now going to do battle with WildcatDad. We're going to have him on in a second. We'll watch 3 matches we're about to do, and we'll go through and we'll break down our performance. We'll talk about what I probably need to improve in, and just the different matchups and how Pokemon performed. Did we think it was going to go as we expected? What worked? What didn't? We'll break all that down for you. And we are back and ready. Here comes the match that, well, I guess one of you have all been waiting for, because I am faced off with the opponent that is most worthy. We've got WildcatDad from BTW Podcast. What's going on?
It's not much, but you should be referring to me as the legend now, WildcatDad.
I didn't know that.
Hit legend this week. Oh,
do the thing.
Oh yeah!
Congratulations! You just got to get all the way.
Such a great pose.
It really is. Have you seen the raids where everybody's doing it together?
Yeah,
it's nice.
I love it so much. It was the only season I've ever cared about hitting legend, and I was so happy. I hit a heater on Go Battle Day, 500 points elo jumped in one day.
Woo, what a jump! Well, right here, I'm telling you right now, WildcatDad is no slouch when it comes to PvP. Why don't you tell the people where they can find you and what you do?
Yeah, so I am one of the co-hosts over on the BTW Beginner to Winner podcast. We cover all things PvP, whether that's Silph, GBL, and in-game news as well. And I always try to put a light on these events and what you need to be watching out for PvP. So come check us out. Really good listen. We're a longer show. It just happens. I'm sorry. There may be a 3-hour episode out there or two.
I remember people sometimes like, how come you guys don't record longer episodes? Like, the Geneva Convention specifically forbids us from going that long. But all right, I'm excited. Let's get this match going, and let's good luck and have fun. Okay, I forgot to record the first battle, but needless to say, I obviously won, and we don't have to worry about that at all. Okay, I didn't win.
Oh, totally just killed me so hard. And
it was so bad. One of his
Pokemon
deleted itself. It was terrible. But here we go. Here's round 2. We'll get in there. The championship pose. Let's see what this lead is going to be. I'm a little nervous about it. I did the same thing. I'm going in with Vigoroth again. It's Glitch Cash. All right, this should,
because I get to try out a new matchup that I haven't played through yet.
This should be pretty good for me. Spam.
You would think.
I do think. But not well. My brain don't well think good. Ooh, that is a tanky fish. That is a tanky fish. Let's see.
That's like I said. You would think, but Vigoroth is not that tanky, so...
No, I'll take a Mud Bomb. I'll take a Mud Bomb to the face. I don't mind. Get it, girl, get it. God, Body Slam and counter is just so spammy. Got the block in there.
It's not a fair setup. Oh, but what's this?
It's probably going to be a Mud Bomb. But I'm going to shield it. Because I want to die. I don't want to die.
Yes, give me that shield.
Can I get one more counter in? I did. I got one more counter in. Every time I go over, I always worry. Every single time. Okay, who else do I have in my matchup here? I don't mind.
Over-tapping is a big issue for me sometimes, especially with slower moves.
Yeah. And counter is not a forgiving master. Who's coming in? Pidgeot? Let's see here. Well, don't have a lot of ways to go with this.
Really? Come right into the one that you know is going to lose very badly to it.
Well, that's the thing, Wildcat.
Oh, is there a Machamp behind it here?
No. Oh, there's a legendary raid happening.
We're just going to go ahead and do this.
Did you just screenshot it?
Uh-oh, not a legendary raid.
Oh, you're getting the same ones from the Discord?
Yeah.
My attack.
Though I have my phone set up to do notifications turned off during playtime.
I always should, but I always forget.
Sweaty GBL battles need no notifications.
Oh my god! Or you get a phone call and you're like, "Why do you hate me so much?" Yeah, I saw it. Die! Got me. Definitely. Ugh. Do you think I'm gonna be able to kill your Pidgeot? I'm hoping.
Yes.
I'm hoping. Punch him! Punch that bird! Punch that bird to death! Ooh, man, that hurt though. Gotta get there. Gotta get there. Ooh, see, I rock the dynamic punch. Do you use...
you went all. Oh,
yeah.
Cross top is so much better. You've got this one. You absolutely have this. Just so you know.
That's why I stopped recording. That's what it was about, so I could come in on the second one. And
I made a very bad misplay.
What was your misplay?
I actually meant to click Wish Cash.
Oh, on the second one.
Yeah, I had when I came in instead of Empoleon, I was trying to click Wish Cash and just fat fingered. Because I had energy that would have forced your shield.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yep, and then it could have come in naked. Stop that recording. But yeah, man, yeah. So that felt basically the preview you gave on the first fight, where you're talking about wanting to save Machamp with shields. It is a bad feeling to have a Machamp in the back when you're feeling shield pressure. Like when my Vigoroth went down and your Pidgeot came in, I was like, I've got no choice. I have to put in my Cofagrigus, and I don't want to. And that was Machamp is like it's great, but it is vulnerable when it's out there.
It is, and I should have not bothered bringing Empoleon in the back that time. That was getting a little greedy.
Yeah. What would you have brought instead?
Hey, you live and learn. That's one of the things with Silph. No matter.
Well, I guess we'll find out on the third match.
In all honesty, probably Wormadam.
Really? That Wormadam is giving me problems.
Maybe,
like I'm looking at my
not.
matchups. I'm like, ugh. Especially when, I mean, maybe my Machamp, but I don't know. Like, I really don't. Like your team is definitely giving me problems to pick against, and I gotta I'm gonna go back and reevaluate Wishcash because that is a spammy Pokemon, and it held up against Vigoroth a lot better than I thought it was going to. Like that Mud Bomb does work neutral damage, and like I said, it just, especially with all like the potential steal in the meta too, like I could definitely see my Mud Boy slinging some Mud Bombs.
And if there's any flyer out there, and that Blizzard just deletes it.
And you get to it so fast.
I like it. You've got to play it right to make it work.
Oh,
yeah.
How many times have you wanted to rage quit when you shielded because you knew it was a Blizzard, but it was a Mud Bomb, and you're like, oh, man. All right, let's do round 3.
So, people that listen to the pod know how much I love the Murder Balloon, or I used to before the Murder Tree came out. And that was one of my favorite matchups. You're sitting there going, it's such a hard call, and you're like, if I get this right, I win the matchup very easily. If I get it wrong, I might as well top left immediately.
Yep. It hurts when that Blizzard hurts your Murder Balloon. All right, here comes round 3. Oh, I'm going to record this time. Okay, the recording's a little late, but we're
record.
We're getting it in. Okay, the recording is there. All right. Okay, I did exactly what you told me not to do, and I led with Machamp.
I'm okay with it, actually.
Really? Yeah, no, this is
this is bad for me overall, actually, but I'm okay with it.
Because you want my Machamp gone, I assume. Can I take this?
Machamp being gone is actually more helpful, typically.
Yeah. Let's see here. Can I get a couple punches? That was a point, too, when I really kind of upped my game a little bit when I learned not to just immediately launch the move and just actually sit there and farm for a second. And those timing windows, like, that made a big difference for me, personally, for my game.
It is a winning strategy.
But, that's just not something that's intuitive for new players.
See?
Yeah. Gotta get you. Who's coming in? Is it Pidgeot? Who's coming in? There she goes.
You know it.
Well, at least I'll get the shield.
So this is a rock slide. It's absolutely a rock slide.
Nah,
might as well
it's
take
not.
the shield with it.
It's not a rock slide.
Because now I'm going to have energy on Pidgeot, which makes it dangerous. Oh, it's always a rock slide on that matchup. But Pidgeot only takes about 40% from a rock slide. So I technically shouldn't have had to shield. But I don't know what else you're using at the end backside here.
Who's coming in?
And I'm assuming Vigoroth's about to come out after this Dark Pulse.
Incorrect.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're just gonna face old Kofagrigas here. This is gonna take me out, huh?
Oh, you got who could it be? Oh, it's that. I don't know. Kofagrigas is pretty bulky, but
No.
Oh, one.
Oh no!
An extra waterfall. I'll take an extra waterfall.
Oh, I think I overclicked, and yeah, now I've got wiggling in the back. This is not good for me. Die. Ugh. Okay, well. So there's only one chance I got here. So I've got to get to. I don't think I can. I can't get there. Can't get there. That hurts. Ah, man. If I could have got to that ice beam,
so
but still, I think Pidgeot would have been fine.
Examples of where leaving energy on something can actually really swing a match.
Yep.
So I would have probably been better off staying in against Kofagrigas, but I was expecting to see a Vigoroth in the back for you.
Yeah, and
I figure I'd rather bait out that Vigoroth.
Yeah, and then come in with Pidgeot, and then you're just murdering it. Oh man, that was
Yeah, because
I
already
match.
had a Feather Dance. Had a Feather Dance ready, so if it was Vigoroth, I would have got at least one Hydro Cannon off on it anyways. Then Feather Danced it, and it could have done nothing at that point to Pidgeot. And then I could have built up to another 1 or 2 Feather Dances for your Coffin.
Yep.
And at that point, it's GG's.
Yeah, I think probably
So
looking at it now.
2 and 1. Hey, you held up well.
Yeah.
You
That's
held
true.
Up well.
The team went well. I think I probably on that last one, before we do like our final wrap up, I think I on that last one probably should have taken one of those X scissors on my Machamp. I think I still could have got off 2 dynamic punches and then just known that I was going to bite the dust as soon as your Pidgeot came in if I had to play it again. But, we live and we learn. But overall, what did you learn about your team? What are you more confident in? What are you thinking about changing, if anything? What are you thinking?
So my team, I have to be very aware where I'm using Empoleon and Wormadam of those counter users. Because if a team like yours has 2 counter users, now I'm having 2 different Pokemon against it that can really lay out some decent damage against both of them. Just so you know, Machamp Shadow, I don't know about regular, but Machamp Shadow almost beats Wormadam by just countering.
Oh, wow.
It would take
That's
both
crazy.
of its shields, but it can get really close.
That's
So,
that's just such a game changer
just keep
right
that
there.
in mind. So understanding those matchups.
Yeah, I wish I had the Shadow Machamp. I only have the regular, unfortunately.
Other than that, Pidgeot, it is what most folks would call a very spicy pick. But what you're going to find, at least in the BTW group, there's going to be quite a few of us probably using it because we've all been playtesting against each other. And I have to give Miami Doc a shout out for helping me figure this pick out originally in our initial playtesting. And since then, it has been by far my MVP.
Pidgeot is welterweight, ranked 3, slot 3. So you're taking that in over potentially like a Toxicroak or a Vigoroth where I used it. Duskox. There's a lot of potentially good picks in here, but I got to tell you, yeah, Beedrill. There's a lot of good picks in here, but I did not, and I know some people are actually going to use their slot 3 for their Charmer with Clefable. I was not considering Pidgeot. I got to tell you, man, like that does, especially when you're going to be encountering a lot of potential ghosts out there, when you're going to be encountering some fighters. Pidgeot is just absolutely devastating. You can't, like when you take a Feather Dance, you're basically forcing a shield and a switch, or at least one or the other. It is just devastating to get hit with that.
So that's my big takeaway. I really like Crustle in that 6th spot as well. It's probably one of the better anti-flyers that isn't Cast Form Ice. So what's really nice about Crustle, you're not picking up the counter weakness. So if you're using Cast Form Ice, you're going to pick up yet another ice weakness. And if you look at my team comp, Wormadam, Empoleon, I can't really handle another weak to counter. Yes, Wormadam's neutral to counter, but it's squishy overall because I'm not excelled. So I'm running a standard old fastened Wormadam right now.
Which, talk about lighting your Stardust on fire.
And that is Wormadam trash for folks.
Yeah. But
I only have 6 million right now.
6 million Stardust? People call me a hoarder. I'm at like 3.5. But overall, what are your thoughts about the meta? Do you like the Brawler Cup? Do you think that this is a cool cup? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
I absolutely hate it.
Really? Why is that?
But I enjoy it better than the previous cup. So if you listen to the pod, both Astro and I, for the Venture Cup, hated it. The point system was a very closed, restricted meta. Oh, it was bad. This is very similar. The only difference is because you have set Pokemon per slot, it's a little easier to combine and build a more rounded team. So that's literally, I was telling Salt, what I ended up doing was taking the tagging feature, and for every single slot, 1 through 6, had a tag and put all the possible Pokemon in that, and then started building my team comps out from there.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more flexible than the Venture. So I enjoy it better, but it is, but I miss the Lunar Cup. I like the old-fashioned, what we had last month. I loved that cup.
Paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah, I think this is the tournament you're going to have the best chance of using some spice in. So if you like your spice index to be up there, have fun with it, because this one, it's going to give you a chance to use your spice.
Yeah. See Pidgeot for details. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for practicing with me. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get good, trying to get better, trying to go from beginner or like extreme beginner to winner. So checking out and having experts like you in the Pokemon Go Radio Discord to help me figure out what the heck is going on, and then y'all show, obviously, to help me figure out what the heck is going on, is inspiring to me. So tell the people one more time where they can find you in the show.
Yeah, so you can check us out, Beginner to Winner PvP Podcast. We also try to stream about once a month over at twitch.tv/btwpvp. So hop on over, check us out. We'll be more than happy to help you out. You can always find us on Twitter and email us as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, WildcatDad. Appreciate it. Okay, and that's our thoughts on the Brawler Cup, or at least our initial thoughts anyway. If you've got some spicy picks, or you think that we missed something, or you like something out there in the meta, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. We answer every single comment. Also, if you want to get a question on our show, on our weekly episode, the comment section here on YouTube is an awesome way to make sure that you guarantee you get that question on the show. So thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe this video and check out the channel. We've got new shows that come out every single Monday at 3 Eastern, and then we also throughout the week have content like this. And if there's something else that you want to see, make sure to suggest that and let us know. In the meantime, go freaking catch 'em all.